Hey,
Olá!
join us as we take an early look at a cute 3-in-1 card game, Clash of Corgis.
Disclaimer: we were provided a copy of the game by Deric Drazich on a basis we would do an honest review. We have received no money for the production of this video or for sharing our first impressions on the game.
Clash of Corgis is a 2 to 4 player card game, designed and self-published in 2023 by Deric Drazich, and with art by Lushie. We'll be taking a look at the second edition of the game here today. This is a game with 3 unique games in the box, each one making use of 55 cards illustrated with cute corgis. There is Clash of Corgis Original, a ladder climbing trick taker that you win by being the first player to get rid of all of your cards. Clash of Corgis Treasure Island, a trick-taking card game where you fight foes and aim to be the first player to gain 10 loot. And Clash of Corgis Capture the Illusionist, a 2-player card game where you take turns to try and capture your opponent's illusionist card, winning if you're able to do so twice. All games play quite quickly, with a suggested 10 to 15 minute playtime.
As this game comes with 3 unique game modes, we'll share a brief overview for each and how they play. Clash of Corgis Original is a 2 to 4 player game. The game is set up by shuffling the deck and dealing 12 cards to each player. The remaining cards are left face down on the side of the table. The game is played in rounds, with each round seeing the starting player playing a card combination to the table, with each player then taking turns to play a matching combo of a higher rank. There are 5 leading combinations that can be played, either single, double, triple, 4 of a kind, or 5 cards of the same rank. For each played combo, the players activate a card effect. Each card rank has a unique card effect. For example, 3, which allows you to draw 1 card, then return 1 from your hand to the deck. Or 9, which skips the next player's turn. The first player getting rid of all their cards wins.
Clash of Corgis Treasure Island is also a 2 to 4 player game. The game is set up by shuffling the deck of cards and dealing 3 cards to each player. Each player's turn consists of 3 phases. Phase 1, draw cards to your hand until you have 3. Phase 2 is where you will build your party, by playing 1 card and dealing with its effects. If you already have 2 cards, you can replace a card in your party, discarding the other. Phase 3 is in 3 parts, and if you have at least 1 card in your party, you can choose to fight. If you decide to fight, you declare beforehand how many foes, up to 3, you'd like to face. Then, draw that amount of cards from the deck. Next, you flip the foe cards to determine the victor. You will win if the total sum of your cards is greater than the foes, and you get to take the foe cards as loot. After fighting, regardless of whether you've won or lost, you discard all the cards in your party to the discard pile. Alongside the unique effects available for each card, there are also bonus effects available if both cards in the fighting party share the same rank or number. An example card effect might be card 4, where you can target any player and force them to fight 3 foes straight away. Or card 2, allowing you to draw another card and retake phase 2 to build your party phase. The first player to gain 10 cards as loot wins the game.
Clash of Corgis Capture the Illusionist is a 2-player only game. This is a game of luck, memory and deduction. Each player takes 11 cards of the same suit from the deck. The remaining cards will not be needed. The 11 cards are shuffled and then 8 of them are put face down into 2 rows of 4 cards each. The remaining 3 cards make up your hand. A space below the 2 rows is needed, called the exposed hand row, where you can play cards from your hand during the game. Cards in this game can have 3 states: hidden, face down card, revealed, face up card, and rested, card rotated 90 degrees. Each player's turn consists of 3 phases in the following order: Insight, where you can privately look at one of your hidden cards, returning it to its original hidden position. Activate a card, select a card from your hand or table that is not rested, and activate the card's effect. You can choose to activate a hidden card too, but it will now become revealed. And finally, cooldown. Change the position of any rested cards back to revealed, except for any cards activated on that turn. Like the other games, this one also has a unique set of card effects for each rank. For example, card 7 lets you reveal one of your opponent's hidden cards from their hand, while an ace makes your opponent reveal one card of their choice. The ace is also used as a one-time block to save your illusionist card if your opponent is in the process of capturing it. The player who reveals and captures the opponent's illusionist card twice wins. All of this fits in a nice magnetically closing box to hold the 55 cards and rules. This game, or should I say these games, are really cool.
They really are, and I'm happy we got to play it, and I think it's really neat that there are 3 unique games in one box.
It's great you get 3 completely different games with very different abilities for each one, all with the same deck of cards. The art style is very cute. You are cute, badass D&D looking corgis. I am biased towards cute looking games, especially with cute animals.
Yeah, the art style is really nice, and the card quality themselves is really good. I'm impressed with that. They have a linen finish and are really nice to touch.
Let's discuss the different games. In the original game, I liked that it was not just getting rid of cards by playing combos of higher value. I liked the twist of the card effects and bonus effects. It was a refreshing uplift. It made an otherwise very simple game into a more fun and complex one. Still not super complex, but with a fun twist.
Yep, it was cool that each card had their own effect to spice up the game a bit. It played quick too. We ended up playing it twice back to back in this video here.
In Treasure Island, I like that you are limited to just 3 cards on each turn. So you have limited options and so you don't get overwhelmed by the variety of possible choices. I like that we are playing against each other, but we are fighting an external enemy, so it's not confrontational. Despite that, you can mess up with each other's game with some card effects like discarding a card in one's player party or making them fight 3 foes, which was what I made Christian do in our first game.
Yeah, the Treasure Island game mode was really fun to play, even with Joanna being sneaky and forcing me to play before I even had a decent party ready to fight.
It was literally my first move, I think.
I really like the interactivity in this game, and it's got a fun push your luck factor when you decide how many foes to try and fight against. It's also quick to play.
In Capture the Illusionist, we mix memory and push your luck with the card effects. I liked it, but we had a very long game that only started to wrap up when we had basically all cards revealed.
Yeah, I kinda liked this one, though it was certainly the longest of the 3. The aim of this game is to find and capture the Illusionist card from your opponent twice. Once you do find the card, then your opponent's cards get reset to the starting position and you keep going. For both of us though, the Illusionist ended up being one of the last cards we revealed, and this made the game drag on a bit longer than we would have liked.
Mine was literally the last one.
We also got into a bit of an awkward back and forth near the end of one of them, where I would block Joanna and then she would block me, all whilst we knew the position of the Illusionist card we had to get. It wasn't quite a stalemate, but it felt like we were headed that way.
Yes, maybe with more plays we will encounter different situations. Back to the overall game, it would have been great to have the effects on the cards, but honestly, I don't think that it would be feasible. I don't think that the card would have enough space for 3 effects and a cute corgi and look nice. We had to keep checking on the effects, but it was okay by me. It wasn't a lot. In the second game, for instance, you basically only have 3 cards in your hand on your turn, so you won't spend too long with it.
For 2 players, it wasn't too bad, especially in the third game, Capture the Illusionist, where we were playing with the reference card itself in our hand, and that worked well to keep track of the various card effects.
But we played with 2 players, and maybe at 3 or 4 it would be more troublesome, especially since we need to resort to the player aid often for the card effects, so there should be 2 more player aids for the original and Treasure Island.
Yeah, there could have been 1 per player. On the topic of player aids and the rules themselves, they were a bit on the small side. We had no problem with learning how to play the game and thought that was done well, but it would have been more comfortable had the font size been a bit bigger.
Yeah, especially for me because I don't have good eyesight. I strain my eyes a bit, but we will probably print the player aids to have them bigger. Oh, and maybe the rules for each game should have been in separate booklets.
Yeah, might have been better separated. Then you wouldn't have to flip around the single booklet so much, and it would be easier to scan for information.
Also, I would have liked some info on the box because there is none. At least the name of each game with the number of players and the expected time for the game. I don't like when boxes have too much information or too many logos or seals of approval and things that honestly ruins the aesthetics of the box, but I think having no information whatsoever is lacking.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen a box like this, I think. There is some space on the top or bottom sides that could have had this information without taking away from the nice cover art being used.
My favorite was Treasure Island, followed by the original one and then Capture the Illusionist.
I think I would say my favorite for sure is Treasure Island, and then I'm not too sure yet for second place. I would want to play both games a few more times to really know. I said earlier I thought Capture the Illusionist went on a bit too long, but I'd still like to try it again.
Definitely. Also, this game is perfect for traveling or to just take with you out and about. It has a sturdy magnetic closing box, which is pretty cool by the way. The original and Treasure Island don't take too much space on the table, so you can take them almost anywhere.
You can find it on their website for $15, which is around 13 euros or 11 British pounds. And that seems to be a very reasonable price for the game.
Before we wrap this up, we would like to thank Deric Drazich for reaching out and sending us the game and giving us the opportunity to take a look at it. This was the first physical copy that we received! Yay!
Thank you all so much for watching. We've been Board Game Beans.
You've been you.
Have a lovely day and
Happy gaming!